They say golf is a game of patience and precision, but when that goes out the window, the results are pure chaos. From massive brain fades to full-blown temper tantrums, here are the moments where pro golfers messed up, somehow getting dumber each time. Starting off, we're at Whistling Straits in 2010. Final hole, Sunday pressure maxed. Dustin Johnson sitting on a shot that could win him a major. He steps up and hits a ripper. Only it's out of a bunker, not a waste area. He doesn't even realize. 2-stroke penalty, title gone. Fuck, that's gotta hurt. Golf can be cruel. It's 2016 and we're at Augusta for the Masters. Jordan Spieth is leading the pack by 5 shots heading into the back 9 of the final round. He's set to become only the 4th person in golfing history to win back-to-back Masters tournaments. And he's about to do it at only 22 years of age. Then, the nerves start to show. He bogeys 10.
It's not going to scare him if he goes long. Oh my goodness.
He bogeys 11. Jordan's got more holes left to play, but things were about to go from bad to worse. I can't imagine that anything would be more disheartening than choking at the Masters under those circumstances. A few years later, in 2019 at Phoenix, Rickie Fowler's protecting a lead in some seriously horrid conditions. He steps up with his wedge on the 11th, and the rest is history.
Except maybe in the rain. Look at this. This is a huge mistake. Very steep bank, and there's a hazard.
Alright, chipping it across the green into the water is one thing. It's recoverable, right? Not the end of the world. He takes his drop, he plans his shot, and gravity files a complaint. Another stroke down the drain. Forced to take another drop, Fowler plays the hole out like the champion he is. That was bad luck. Next up is a leader's short game implosion. Nicholas Norgard-Moller was sitting pretty, leading by 4 shots at the Betfred British Masters in 2024. Similar to Fowler, he had a short chip to the green that went horribly wrong.
It's literally like playing, look. Wow.
Bruh.
Oh, did he hit it twice?
There you go.
No weather to blame for that one, mate. That's on you. Not that he'd be too worried about it. He did go on to win the tournament. Someone else that's won a lot of tournaments over the years and has always been there or thereabouts is the one and only Phil Mickelson. But the 2018 US Open at Shinnecock Hills wasn't one of those occasions. The greens were lightning quick. Phil wasn't having the best time out there, and after hitting a pretty poor putt on the 13th green, he completely surprised everyone with this. That's gotta be one of the most deliberate acts of rule breaking I've ever seen. When asked about the incident afterwards, Phil said,
I was just going back and forth, and I'd gladly take the 2 shots over continuing that display.
Fast forwarding to 2019 for the Saudi International at the Royal Greens Golf and Country Club. Sergio Garcia's patience packed its bags and left the country mid-round. The Spaniard reportedly vandalized multiple greens, which led to his disqualification from the tournament. It is so unfortunate that there isn't any footage of this, but if you saw our last video on pro golfers losing control, you'd know that this man can be a bit of a hothead. Maybe add that one to the queue if you're keen. And while you're at it, I'd really appreciate a cheeky like and subscribe if you haven't already. Back to Sergio and Saudi though, check out his bunker temper tantrum from earlier in the week.
Round 1. Fight! Fatality.
Here's what Sergio had to say about it before teeing off at his next tournament.
That's why I apologized, and I paid for it, obviously, again disqualified.
Low-key, I hope he never changes. Jumping forward another 12 months to the 2020 WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Bryson DeChambeau's tee shot wasn't the greatest and leaves him with a horrible lie by a big-ass tree. While most players would just take the medicine, Bryson had other plans.
It looks like an ant hole or ant area.
No, it's I mean, I see the coloration difference. I just don't see, Bryson, I don't see
Fire ants.
Fire ants? Really, bro? That's dumb as fuck. As you'd expect, the big fella got absolutely roasted on social media. I mean, check out some of these tweets. They're hilarious. We really are getting dumber with this shit. Because at Winged Foot back in 1997, Woody Austin gave us a moment we'll never forget. Putter in hand, brain boiling. He lips one out of the cup and short circuits on live TV. Those clubs were pure metal back then. Let that sink in. Speaking of sinking, Jean van der Velde had the ultimate water meltdown a couple of years later over at Carnoustie in the Open. With one hole to play, a 3-shot lead, you could flame the claret jug already. And then the golf gods said, "Steady on, big fella, we're not done with you yet." Jean's tee shot flirts with trouble. His second clanks off the grandstand. His third gone for a dip. Only it seemed to float, which gave Jean an all-time idea.
I've never seen anything like it before, and to attempt to hit the ball out of there is pure madness.
He should pick up, go back, drop, get it on the green, get a 6, get in the playoff.
The thing is, we've seen golfers do this sort of thing over the years, but usually their ball's on the bank. This one? A knee-deep fantasy. Unfortunately for Jean, his mishap, along with a bunker masterclass from Craig Parry, led them to a playoff alongside Paul Lawrie, where the latter of the three would take the win. That sucks. We're at the Arnold Palmer Invitational in 2013. And enter our favourite hothead once again, Sergio Garcia. Although, it wasn't his temperament that was put to the test this time round. It was his tree climbing ability. And yes, I'm not kidding. You can't make this shit up.
Right there. That's the ball right there. How can the ball stay there? That's what he has to be at.
Yes. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. What a f***ing shot from 10 feet in the air.
Now the escape. Oh, yes.
Moving on, we're at Sioux Falls for the 2025 Stanford International with John Daly. We're on the 12th. It's a par 5, and the beard is about to set arguably the most unwanted record in tour history. Once again, I am gutted to say that I couldn't get any footage of this, but let me walk you through what happened. Or, should I say, let his scorecard do the walking. Honestly, I'm speechless. Like, where do you go from there? John Daly's 19 at the 12th became the highest score on a hole in Champions Tour history. The absolute furthest thing from an ideal scenario, to say the least. At least he's always got cool pants on though. Young William Mouw found himself in one of the toughest bunkers on tour at PGA West for the American Express 2025. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let the footage do the talking, because this takes the cake for the dumbest moment on our list.
So we go back to Mouw at 16. Off this downslope. So you can have another one. And now the 5th shot at the par 5 16th.
Oh my gosh, sit down.
It doesn't stop once it gets there.
This is his 9th shot, I'm told.
That's not even where the pin is.
His 10th shot. Oh my gosh. Please hit it close.
No, don't do that. What are you doing?
He didn't.
Mouw, what are you doing?
You see how the balls are coming out hot? That's when you have no feel and you get anxious and nervous and you're really throwing your hands at the bottom, accelerating.
With that clinic on how to stay off the green, we close out our list of pros messing up. I appreciate you being here, and as always, thank you for watching.